Donald Trump made an appearance on Fox News last night, and he was very normal and coherent and made lots of lucid, intelligent comments. And sorry, it just seems a little weird. Are you sure that card is right, Wally?
Sorry, Seth. I just hired a new guy. Let me make sure there aren't any mistakes.
Okay. Should just be a second, everybody.
Oh, that's spelled wrong. That too. Oh boy, he messed that part up really bad. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. Okay, just the one final change, and we're good. Okay, Seth, all set.
All right, okay, great. Here we go. Donald Trump went on Fox News last night and lost his mind. All right, thanks, Wally.
No worries, boss.
Okay. Hey, who is this new guy, by the way?
Just some kid I met on one of those QAnon message boards. You'd like him.
I bet I would. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Okay, so you know how Donald Trump is still, as of this moment, the leader of the Republican Party and frontrunner for the party's presidential nomination in 2024. And you know how he's also in what constitutional scholars technically refer to as a, quote, assload of legal trouble? Well, yesterday, he went on Fox News to talk about all of it, and as is par for the course for Trump, despite being served softball question after softball question, he fully disintegrated into a sweaty, red-faced, rambling, incoherent mess. It's amazing that Trump continues to have the confidence of a man who is ready for anything while being prepared for nothing. If Trump was on Family Feud, he would buzz in before he got asked a question. Top 5 answers on the board. Hunter Biden's laptop. Well, the question was going to be best places for a first date, so I don't think it's going to be up there. Well, it's got to be somewhere. We might as well look there. Now, we all know that whenever he goes on Fox News or does a rally or speaks in public in any way, Trump is going to say a bunch of crazy But that's especially problematic right now because he's facing multiple very serious criminal investigations and civil suits, and what he says can be used against him in court. There are multiple grand juries looking into his attempts to overturn the 2020 election. There's the Justice Department's investigation of all the classified documents he stole from the White House. And there's the lawsuit New York Attorney General Letitia James announced yesterday seeking to bar him from doing business in the state after what she called years of staggering fraud.
The New York State Attorney General suing former President Trump, 3 of his adult children, and the Trump Organization for $250 million, accusing the Trump family of, quote, staggering fraud in a sweeping civil suit and looking to ban them from doing business in New York.
We show that they violated several state criminal laws, including falsifying business records, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, and engaging in a conspiracy to commit each of these state law violations. We believe the conduct alleged in this action also violates federal criminal law, including issuing false statements to financial institutions and bank fraud.
At this point, it would just be easier to list the crimes Trump hasn't committed. I mean, as far as we know, he hasn't broken any maritime laws, although we say that now, and then, like, in a week, audio will surface of Trump trying to bribe a seal to prove the election was stolen. Bark, bark, clap, clap, bark, Dominion voting machines, excuse me, clap, bark. He also probably hasn't jaywalked, but only because jaywalking happens in a straight line and Trump only goes around in circles. It's also very funny that James is suing Trump for $250 million, an amount he would definitely never be able to pay. If the suit succeeds, we're going to see an everything must go sign on Trump Tower. It would be the tackiest fire sale ever. You just see a bunch of New Yorkers walking down Fifth Avenue, lugging giant chandeliers or marble water fountains or a golden toilet. Can you believe it? I got this for $20. If the Yankees win the World Series, I'm going to get wasted and puke in this thing. I'm gonna puke like a king. And then there's the DOJ investigation of the classified documents. Yesterday, we told you that the independent arbiter who had been appointed to sift through the materials seized in the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago had chastised the Trump legal team for not providing any proof that Trump had declassified any of the documents. And sure enough, yesterday, an appeals court intervened to reverse a lower court ruling and allow the DOJ investigation to continue. The appeals court judges ruled that the DOJ could move forward with its criminal investigation because there's no reason to believe Trump declassified the documents or that he should get to keep them even if he did.
Just a short time ago, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals handed Trump's lawyers a huge defeat, 3 appeals court judges, 2 of them appointed by Trump himself, lifted a judge's order that prevented the Justice Department from using classified documents that were seized from Mar-a-Lago in its criminal investigation.
An appeals court has ruled that the Justice Department can have access to roughly 100 highly sensitive classified documents that were taken from Mar-a-Lago. Trump has been arguing that all the documents seized from his club are his personal property, and that if the FBI found anything classified in there, well, Trump magically declassified it when he was president, even though he has no record of ever having done that. The judge is right, quote, "The declassification argument is a red herring because declassifying an official document would not change its content or render it personal. So even if we assume that plaintiff Trump did declassify some or all of these documents, that would not explain why he has a personal interest in them."
Exactly. Claiming you declassified them on top of being a lie is also irrelevant. You don't get to keep them. Trump thinks declassifying something is like calling dibs. Watch out if you're ever at a big group dinner with him. "I'm officially declassifying those jalapeno poppers. So hands off the poppers, but also before I declassify the poppers, we order the poppers as a group. So we'll still be splitting the check for the poppers. You pay for my pop. You pay my pop." So that's what was happening yesterday as Trump sat down with his best friend / only friend, Sean Hannity. And as is usually the case with these interviews, Hannity desperately tried to help Trump out by teeing him up with softball questions designed to defend Trump, but accidentally ended up giving Trump free rein to go totally off script and screw himself. For example, as we mentioned earlier, Trump and his lawyers have been arguing that he declassified the documents he stole from the White House. So far, they have refused to provide any details or evidence as to how and when exactly that happened, and now we know why there are none. Trump told Hannity he thinks you can declassify a top secret document by simply declaring it declassified inside your own head.
You had said on Truth Social a number of times you did declassify.
I did declassify, yes.
Okay. Is there a process? What was your process to declassify?
There doesn't have to be a process, as I understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. If you're the president of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it.
Do you think the whole time Trump was answering, Hannity was thinking, why the I ask him what his process was? Oh, what the is wrong with me? Oh, today's the day he's gonna have a process. Get your head out of your ass, Hannity! Trump's argument is that you can just declassify things in your mind. It's officially declassified as long as you believe it's declassified. That's according to Trump's newest legal advisor, Tinkerbell. Oh, and heads up, Tink, he's not gonna pay you. So Trump says you can declassify something just by thinking about it, although even that is a shaky defense because it requires establishing that Trump is capable of thinking about things. I mean, even if it were true that the law said you declassify something just by thinking about it, all a judge would have to do is look into Trump's eyes and immediately rule that there's just nothing going on in there. I mean, look at that. Does that look more like a man who's declassifying top secret documents or an emu who just found the zoo camera? Whenever he's on TV, Trump has this energy.
It's amazing to me. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel. I'm trying to tell them thank you. Buddy, I'm trying to tell them thank you. Don't do it. Don't. Emmanuel.
Interestingly, Emmanuel also stole a bunch of classified documents. There was also this part of the clip that I thought was very revealing and probably drove Trump's lawyers insane.
Is there a process? What was your process to declassify?
There doesn't have to be a process, as I understand it. You know, there's different people say different things, but as I understand, there doesn't have to be. There doesn't have to be a process. There can be a process, but there doesn't have to be.
What do you mean there doesn't have to be a process? If Trump had been one of the framers of the Constitution, every article would have ended with, or not. Congress shall have the power to make laws or not. Of course, there's a process. It's a government. There's a process for everything. Nothing happens by magic. You can't just change your address or file your taxes by thinking about it. Although, based on Letitia James's press conference, that's what Trump will probably use as his next excuse. I may have inflated my assets on legal bank forms, but in my head, I was honest down to the last penny. But by far the craziest part of the interview came when Trump fully unraveled and seemed to suggest that the FBI was maybe searching Mar-a-Lago to look for Hillary Clinton's emails. It made so little sense, even Hannity had to jump in and stop him.
There's also a lot of speculation because of what they did, the severity of the FBI coming and raiding Mar-a-Lago. Were they looking for the Hillary Clinton emails that were deleted, but they are around someplace? Were they looking for the spying on
You're not saying you had it.
No, they may be saying, they may have thought that it was in there.
Wait, what? So, the FBI searched your private resort to look for Hillary Clinton's emails, the ones you've supposedly been looking for forever. That made so little sense, even Hannity had to jump in and say,
Don't do it.
But man, what a twist. What a twist it would be if Trump accidentally admitted that he's the one who stole all of Hillary Clinton's missing emails. I mean, honestly, that would be worth it. Even M. Night Shyamalan would have been like, hats off. I mean, a lot of people are saying maybe the FBI was looking for Hillary's emails because maybe they were in there. Because maybe in 2015, I sat down at a computer and broke into her server and stole them because in reality, despite presenting as a very dumb man, I'm actually a computer genius. A hacker. That's what we call ourselves, we love the hackers, don't we? This guy is still, as of this moment, the leader of the Republican Party and the front runner for their presidential nomination in 2024. There are pro-Trump candidates up and down the ballot across the country, and this is what they're standing behind. A guy who's so corrupt that at this point, he can commit crimes just
by thinking about it.
This has been a closer look. The midterm elections are coming up, so to make sure that you're good to vote in this election, visit our good friends at headcount.org to check your voter registration status or to register to vote.